Hello, how are you, friends? Welcome to a new video, friends. The like goal for this video will be just 20,000 likes. I hope we can reach the like goal so I can upload the next video. Also, remember that we now have the email option active so we can stay in touch with you and receive your contributions for future videos. So, without further ado, let's get started. Are you a child? Unfortunately, your financial situation is not the best. Since you were born in a city with scarce resources, it is your duty from an early age to look for a job to help support yourself. One day, while you are looking for a job with your friends, you decide to go to the town's company and try your luck. Fortunately, the company bosses have agreed to hire you. Your job is simple. You have to take care of the product shipments, which the company sells nationwide. You also have to check their condition and accompany them when transporting them to other cities. And even though the hours might be a bit long, the pay makes up for everything. Today, together with your coworkers, you have to take the product to another city. You get on the trucks and head to the delivery point. On the way, you run into a military checkpoint. And even though you are kids for the soldiers, your product is not legal. (2015 Tamaulipas, Mexico incident group of children no older than 15 years old, S.O., during a confrontation with the Army, after being caught transporting in a truck, they were brutally gunned down by the Army, the troop from hell. Sent by Alex Marge. You are a real estate agent. As a real estate agent, your job is to find new houses, remodel them, and resell them at a better price. With your colleagues, you know the business well, which makes it pretty easy for you, giving you free time and a juicy paycheck. Today, your boss has assigned a task to you and your colleagues to go and repossess a house that hasn't paid its rent on time so you can remodel it and sell it later. You go out with your colleagues and arrive at the house. Well, apparently there's no one there. I think it'll be easy to do our job. Hold on a moment. There's an old lady. Look, ma'am, please grab your things and don't make this any harder. What was that? I think that was a gunshot. Buddy, are you okay? Maybe you can't repossess this house now. What's that? April 2nd, 2025, Chalco incident in Cold Blood, Grandma. 2 people to get her house back, which had been taken over by squatters. Sent by Vegetoidita. I'm writing this in the hope that someone who believes me will find it and get me out of here. I'm writing this on some napkins I saved from lunch with a pencil the doctor forgot yesterday. I'll throw them out my window, and I hope that you, whoever is reading this, can prove that I'm not crazy and that I should get out of here. It all started last week. I was at home doing my homework when my friend sent me a message. Lately, my friend and I spent hours playing video games. That day, he called me to tell me about a new level, which was scary. So I decided to leave my homework unfinished to go try the level my friend was talking about. It turned out the level was pretty good. I liked it so much that I decided to play 2 more. The bad thing was that as I progressed through the levels, they kept getting creepier. They were scarier and played some strange music. These details never scared me until I started dreaming about the levels and waking up screaming at night. There was a level where you could make out a face. This face, from the moment I saw it, never stopped haunting me. I dreamed about it. It was etched in my mind. I could even swear I saw it in my house. In the midst of my desperation, I decided to contact the creator of the levels. Other than replying to my messages in a strange language, which turned out to be ancient Latin, it said that by pronouncing some strange words in an unknown language, I would stop dreaming about this face. In my ignorance, I agreed, but the situation didn't get any better. I can't stop seeing his face everywhere now. I'm sure he wants to kill me. Well, this is what his son wrote. We found these napkins in the asylum yard and decided to check the facts. From our analysis, we found the level his son mentioned doesn't exist in the game or was deleted. It's also verified that he spoke with someone by mail. We're investigating their whereabouts. And finally, we don't understand how. From his hospital room, he wrote everything in ancient Latin, leaving no room for error. User 006660000 sent by Jose Fantasma. You are a young man. Were you drawn to music from an early age? You feel that you have a deep connection with it and that it is your duty to share it with the whole world. Therefore, even though you are still a teenager, you decide to start dedicating your afternoons to creating music, even though fame was not your goal. You had a lot of success with your music releases, making people find refuge in your music, because in every song you made, you put your heart and soul into it. You gained global recognition very quickly, making people from different parts of the world feel a connection with your music. What you didn't know was that the price of lighting up the world was losing your own shine. Even if people love your music, even if you managed to reach the top, and even though it seemed like you had everything, in reality you never had anything. Despite this feeling, you try to keep fighting, leaving a piece of your soul in every song you make. The months go by and unfortunately, you know you can't deal with what you feel anymore. And leaving a void in the music industry, you decide to end your suffering so that you can finally rest in peace. April 20, 2018. Accident or suicide? Avicii. Sent by Alejandro Yomayusa. We'll never know what will happen. No matter how hard science tries, it's something humanity hasn't achieved to this day. Preventing diseases, wars, pandemics, it's something impossible in the present we live in. But what if I told you, dear viewer, that there is someone who was able to warn us about events that have happened? This person managed to predict in the past historical events like wars, deaths, and even astrological events from his prophecies. Most of them have come true, and according to the same person I'm telling you about, there are still many left to be fulfilled. One of them is that one of the world powers will lose its leader, which will lead to a civil war and then provoke a military conflict between countries. As a result of this, there will be famine, death, despair, and destruction, bringing us closer and closer to reality. The death of a church leader who will leave the throne and a black king will take his place, bringing war and famine, or even a conflict between the dragon of the east and the great bird of the west. But these are just prophecies made by an ordinary man over 200 years ago. This person, in one of his prophecies, also mentioned an attempt by humanity to be like God, attempting to revive species the planet had already consigned to oblivion. In their first attempt, they would bring back to life a harmless, extinct animal, which they would succeed in doing. And this would fill these people's minds with ambition, so they would continue bringing back more species, until one day one of them would break free, manage to escape, reproduce, and lead humanity to imminent extinction. We'll just have to remember these are only prophecies and not things that will actually happen. After all, they haven't been proven by science, mentioned in the Bible, or said by anyone relevant. They're just prophecies spoken by a madman named Nostradamus. 1525, France incident. The prophecies of Nostradamus for 2025. Sent by Tipitux. Alright friends, this has been today's video. Remember that the goal for this video is just 20,000 likes. I hope we can reach this goal so I can upload the next part. So, without anything else to say, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.